What's up, guys? So this morning I'm going to talk to you guys about a few major differences, or some differences that I've noticed being from Chicago and living in Phoenix. So one thing that I really do know is that it's not as much stuff to do out here as it is in Chicago. But I think that the problem is, in Chicago, everything happens in the city. Whereas in here, everything happens in the towns around the city. So I'm in Phoenix, I'm in North Phoenix, and all of the events that, that seem like they may be good, or free events and stuff like that, they all happen in like Tempe, Glendale, Avondale, like places like that. So they're not in the city. Whereas in Chicago, and excuse my voice, I'm getting sick. Whereas in Chicago, everything, you come from the town, the local towns or the suburbs, to come to the city to be in, take part of the activities and stuff. And even in Chicago, like, you can walk outside and just stumble upon an event. You can't do that out here in Phoenix. You kind of have to plan ahead for everything and really do your research for stuff, because a lot of stuff that I'm hearing is in Tempe, Mesa, Glendale, Avondale, Peoria, and Chandler, depending on like what part of Arizona you're going to be in. So just be mindful of that. There are some things to do. I know a lot of people say it's not a lot of stuff to do out here. It's not a lot to do out here, but there are some things to do. There is actually an amusement park in the middle of the city, and it's like the only thing that I think that I know of that's in the city that you could actually do. Everything else you kind of have to travel to, like the main place you have to kind of travel to, like Dave and Buster's, Main Event, Top Golf. You have to travel to those. So that's one thing. Another thing that I noticed is that Arizona and Phoenix is really spaced out. Like, it's really spaced out. You have to drive everywhere for the most part. They do have public transit, which is a major difference from Chicago public transit, but everything is pretty spaced out. I can't walk to the store. Like, there's a Subway down the street from my house. I'll go walk to that, but outside of that, I can't really walk to a store or grocery store or anything like that, because nothing is close to me. And the major grocery store out here is like Fry's and Walmart. They have Food City, which the Food City is, I guess, if you're from Chicago, it's somewhat like Food for Less or Aldi. And they're actually supposed to be bringing Aldi out here, started in 2020. So I'm excited about that, because I am definitely an Aldi's girl. But that's when it comes to like everything being spaced out. It does. Have to drive everywhere. It takes me 25 minutes to get to my cousin, 30 minutes to get here and there. I take my son to Mesa to get his haircut, which is a 35-minute drive. So it's it is definitely, you have to travel to get everywhere. Another thing that I noticed out here is, like, Phoenix to me is like a local suburb of Chicago, a local Chicago suburb. So it'd be like, to me, the only thing I could compare it to is like Champaign or something like that, Champaign, Illinois, where it's not, you have the complexes with the gyms and all of that stuff, but it's not like, we're not on top of each other technically, because it's so spaced out. So you have a community here, and then you drive a couple blocks, you have a community somewhere else. It's definitely nothing like Chicago. I would definitely say it's a lot more peaceful. You have a lot more peace of mind. Now, I never really lived in a suburb of Chicago. I was living in the city, so I live in the city of Phoenix now. And comparing the two cities, the peace of mind is great. Only thing is, there is a lot of Amber Alerts out here, and I don't understand why people feel comfortable just letting their kids run outside and play by themselves. In my community, they're always all over the place, and there's nothing wrong with, having your kids playing and stuff. I'm not against that. Like, do your thing, but at the same time, I never see an adult around. So it'd be like, where is the parent? At least one parent, at least somebody should be looking, to make sure these kids are safe and okay. Because I've seen on the news a couple times that they busted a couple human trafficking rings out here, and they had kids. So, that's one thing. Like, that's the crime out here. Like, not really gang stuff goes on out here that I know of. There are shootings of people that get shot, are usually the target of the people that's trying to shoot at them. And it's more so domestic. A lot of domestic stuff out here. A lot of on the news. It's a lot of domestic, and it's a lot of car accidents because nobody can drive out here. It's always an accident every day. At least I see 3 at least every single day. And I don't know if it happens in Chicago because I was on a bus all the time, so I never really paid attention to that. But even being on a bus, on the expressway, you will know if the traffic was messed up because of a car accident, which I rarely saw that. What else? Renting out here, I would say the prices are comparable to Chicago to a point, like a little bit, give or take a couple $100s. My 2-bedroom in Chicago, you will get more for your money though. My 2-bedroom is in Chicago. My last apartment was $1,100. It was just a 2-bedroom, 1 bath. That's it. Nothing fancy. Didn't have washer, dryer, and laundry or anything like that. Didn't have a pool, of course. But then, of course, this is Arizona, and it's hot as crap outside. It's hot as Satan toenails. In the summertime, so of course they're gonna have a pool. And the majority of the places have pools. So I have a 2-bedroom, 1 bath, and it's a little smaller than my old apartment. And I feel a little claustrophobic just because of the way the height of the ceilings and stuff like that. There's certain things that I like and I dislike about my apartment, or just the way I am. It's like certain things I really love. Like I love open plan, floor plan. And I might actually give you guys a tour of my apartment a little later on when I get some stuff situated here, because I still got to get a couple things that I want to a couple items of furniture I need to get or trade out. So I have a 2-bedroom, 1 bath. What? I have a 2-bedroom, 1 bath, and then I have a laundry. I have wash and dry in my unit, and then there's laundry literally outside my door. And then you have the pool, and you have a gym. Excuse me, like I said, I'm getting sick. And you have like a gym, you have like a community room, you have a business center, you have a room that you can have your events and stuff like that. You also have playgrounds and tennis court, and they're redoing our playground, so they're gonna have a soccer field inside the playground, next to the playground. So you have that because every community pretty much have a play area for the kids, pools, depending on where you are. And this my unit is less than $950, so it's like $930. I'm gonna say around $940 a month, and that price includes my water, sewer, and trash pickup. And I have to pay electric. The electric bill is a little different, of course. They have a lot more fees. It's really strange. I'll show you guys one of my electric bills at some point, just so you can see, because in Chicago it's like, okay, you have a line of like 6 things. I don't know. I haven't had a Chicago bill in a while, so I forgot. And then here's like 15. It's like, what are all these fees? So yeah, the bills look different. But that's pretty much that. And for the communities out here, they don't rent out every single apartment. There's about 2 model apartments that they have, and it's like as if you're going into an open house. They have food, they have, snacks and stuff you can grab while you're walking around. And so they have those to show people. They don't necessarily have, I don't know of many communities out here that have every single unit occupied by a tenant, whereas in Chicago, every single unit is occupied by a tenant, and whatever unit you go visit and you go see, that's the unit you're getting. It's not like, okay, this is a model unit and then your unit is all the way in the back to the left up the stairs. Like, no, you see the unit that you're actually going to get. What else? When it comes to finding work out here, I would definitely say, from my experience and what I've heard other people's experiences is, over the past year, it's much more difficult to find employment in Chicago than it is to find employment in Phoenix or in Arizona, period. Because when I came out here, I was applying for jobs and I was getting interviews back to back. So I was getting a lot of calls, but the pay is way different. That is something else. Of course, the cost of living is different, so the pay is going to be different. But the pay for me, I feel like I left Chicago making a little under $40,000 a year, and I had some interviews where I would have been making 26,000 a year, and I was like, I can't go back. I can't go back. So even less than 30,000 for me, it was something I knew I couldn't live off of. So I was adamant about at least making what I was making in Chicago, which I was, and I've gotten offered a permanent position at my job. So I'm making a little bit over 40,000, and I'm working towards making more over the next year and a half out here. So for me, my pay is pretty good compared to what other people are making that have been out here, that I know that have been out here for a while. It really just depends on how you find your job, how you find employment, and if you want some tips, let me know. Comment that below, and I will give you some tips and tricks on things that you can do to kind of get yourself in employment that pay a little bit more decent. Customer service positions and administrative positions out here pay really pretty well compared to other positions that I've seen. What else? I feel like I'm forgetting something. Oh, people out here are really rude. That's something to take note of. I know there are people everywhere that are rude, but I feel like people out here are extremely rude. And I actually did some research, and Arizona is like the second, is ranked the second rudest state, which I feel to be quite interesting. And I think that was done in 2016, 2017, where there was a poll and people said that Arizona was the second rudest state in the U.S. So I'm like, oh, okay, that makes sense, because a lot of people out here are really rude. And you kind of would know the difference, because people that are a little nicer, you could tell that they're not from here. But the people that are from here are really rude. But yeah. Oh, and another thing, this will be really petty, but the way people dress out here is completely different from the way people dress in Chicago, from my personal experience, because people out here kind of dress like they don't care, for the most part. And when I've seen, like when I was in Chicago, I used to dress up all the time. And I kind of got into the thing of, I don't want to dress up. I just want to walk around like I'm about to go to bed. And that's a lot of people dress like that. Like they just like, I'm like, it's sunny out. What is going on? Everybody should be happy, but no. Everybody walk around like they are in Seattle and it's been raining all day. Of course, the weather is different because of the fact that we're in the desert, and Chicago is like in Antarctica. This is always cold. No, it's not always cold, but in the winter, you know, get the blizzards. But that's pretty much it. I can't think of anything else right now, but if I do think of something, I will definitely share with you guys in another video. Oh gosh, I feel like I'm missing something I wanted to talk about, but I'll share it in another video. Please make sure you comment if you're from Arizona, if you recently transitioned or moved to Arizona. Share with us your differences for what city you're from, and like what's the major differences you've noticed. And then comment below if you have any questions, if you want me to talk about any specific areas in Arizona and Phoenix specifically. I will be possibly looking for another apartment soon, so I will be definitely taking you guys on some apartment tours, and hopefully I'll be able to give you guys a tour of my apartment when it's not a mess. That is pretty much it. If you watched this video to this point and you haven't subscribed and you're still interested in knowing more about Arizona and more about other things that I talk about, like family, finance, and just fun stuff, please make sure you subscribe and hit the notification button and like this video, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Bye.